Hey everyone, let's install Ubuntu on VirtualBox. For installing Ubuntu on VirtualBox, first of all, we need the VirtualBox software. So for that, we can go to VirtualBox downloads. I spelled that right. We have to select our particular operating system. So I am right now on Windows, so we will go and select Windows host and we will download it. Meanwhile, we can go ahead and download the Ubuntu ISO image. So we go to go ahead and download the LTS version. As I already have downloaded to save time, you can go ahead and download it. So now VirtualBox is downloaded, so we can go ahead and start installing VirtualBox. So for installing VirtualBox, there is no rocket science behind it. All we have to do is just follow along the wizard and just select the default options and click on next. We can change the directory for installing VirtualBox if it is required for you, but I would leave it with C drive only. So I already have downloaded and installed VirtualBox, so I will skip this step, but you can just go ahead with the installation wizard and it would all be fine. So now once VirtualBox is downloaded, we will go ahead and download the VirtualBox extension pack. You can just go ahead and select this all supported platforms and we will get the extension pack. Now for installing the extension pack, all we have to do is click on it and it would automatically install the extension pack. So as I am on a lower version of VirtualBox, so I can't install the latest version, but you can go ahead and install it. It's very simple. As I said, you just have to follow along the setup wizard. So once you do that, you can pause the video and then you can come back and follow along with me. First of all, we need to create a virtual machine instance for Ubuntu. We can name it anything. So I will name it Ubuntu VM. And you can select the location for installing that VM. I will leave it for default. And just be sure to select type as Linux and version as Ubuntu 64-bit. So for Ubuntu, 2 GB of RAM is just enough. So if you wish, you can give it more. So I have 16 gigs of RAM, so I will give it somewhat 4000 MBs or around 4 gigs of RAM. I'll give it 2 processors. One is enough, but I will give it 2. You can leave it at 1 if you want. Okay, just go ahead with the default options. Now you have to go to settings and then go to storage, and here you have to click on this disk icon. Here you will click on add. Here you have to go ahead and select your Ubuntu ISO image. Just click on choose. Okay, now we will go ahead and boot up our VM. Select try or install Ubuntu. So this might take 3 to 4 minutes or even 8 minutes depending on your system. As you can see, we are just by the installation wizard of Ubuntu. Just select install Ubuntu. Just leave it at default, and if you are very sure about the language specifics, then you can change it, but I would recommend it to leave it at default settings. For installation on VirtualBox, it is recommended to go for the minimal installation. So you can select normal also, but I will go with minimal. It's completely optional. Take this, download updates by installing Ubuntu. You can also go for installing third-party software for graphics. So I would recommend you to go ahead and do that, but I won't do it because I don't use Ubuntu on VirtualBox. I have a dual mode installation for Ubuntu. We will select erase disk and install Ubuntu. Just click on continue. According to my location, I am in India, so my time zone would be in Kolkata. So you can go ahead and change your time zone over here. And most of the time it would automatically detect your time zone using the GPS from your computer. Here you can enter your name. And you can choose a password. You can leave these options as it is and you can click on continue. Now it will start installing Ubuntu on your VirtualBox. And this process might take somewhere around 5 to 10 minutes. Again, it is completely dependent on your system and your hardware specification. So just be patient and let it install the operating system on your VirtualBox. So after some 10 years and 5 months later, installation is now complete and it is prompting us to restart our Ubuntu virtual machine. We'll go ahead and click on restart now. So, just enter. So you just put in your password. And yeah, it should open up. So actually I'm recording and then using virtual machine, so that's why it's taking that much time. You can go ahead and you can log in with your accounts. I'm not gonna do that. You can set up live patch. I would recommend you to do so because that would keep your system more secure. Just click on next. Okay. Just click on. And now we are done. And yeah, that's all we had to do to install VirtualBox based Ubuntu. But there is one thing still, you can see that this is not in full screen mode. So we will try working around it and make it in full screen mode. Now let's try to bring Ubuntu in full screen mode. So now let's try to bring Ubuntu in full screen mode. First go to File, go to Preferences, here go to Display, and be sure to select Hint from this drop down, this option menu, and put in the screen resolution of your screen. So in most of the cases it would be 1920 into 1080. So just put it as it is and click on OK. Now go ahead and click on Start. You will see that the screen resolution is not still fixed yet. So what we need to do is right click on Display Settings, go ahead to Resolution and select it 1920 into 1080 pixels. Click on Apply. Keep the changes, and now you can see that it is completely in full screen mode. You can go to View, full screen mode, and yep, it is a good experience. It feels like you are running Ubuntu as your default OS. Now the next thing that we need to do is go ahead, press Start button and go to this search bar and type terminal. So you don't need to worry about what is the terminal or the command that I'm going to type in the terminal, because I'm going to cover it in much more detail in the later videos. So let's type this command, sudo apt update, put the password. We have successfully installed Ubuntu on our VirtualBox. So if you reach till here, pats on your back. And if you faced any issue, you can go ahead and mention those issues in the comment section. I will try to help you out as soon as possible. And if I'm not able to reach you, because it is not possible for me to check it every time, so you can go ahead, you can Google it, but I will try as much as possible to have a look on the comment section and resolve the issues that you guys are facing. So good luck, and we will see you in the next video.